Hello and welcome into the weekend edition of the Commissioner's Corner in the League of Extraordinary Salesmen. The 49ers destroyed the Cowboys, coming away with a 30-24 win. Unfortunately, they looked awful as ever, while the Jets lose to the Patriots 25-22. Oh my God, and are now winless since firing their coach. So bad. But a congratulations once again goes out to myself with a 137.4 to 112.15 victory over Jesse. This was the game of the week, but once Jahmyr Gibbs scored that long touchdown, I was off and rolling from there. Jesse basically had no chance. So with that, let's take a look at our worst to first segment, brought to you by Jacob.
Don't mind me over here shitting my guts out, kind of like my team shit all over me this week. Don't know how it's the first week. Nobody got under 100 points. I score 110 and still somehow lose. Congrats to number one, Joseph, for this week. Deliver the blow.
Not sure who's going to be cleaning up that mess. Oh, God, I can smell it from here. Gross. Anyways, Jacob, thanks for putting that together. With that, let's take a look at some other matchups from around the league. Dolan is incredibly fortunate given he had a running back that scored 0 points and a quarterback that pulled himself out of the game because he was too tired. However, he does get the 124.65 to 109.8 win over Jacob. In one of the most stunning twists in fantasy football, a bizarre and meaningless stat correction that happened 24 hours after the game finishes, Bijan is awarded a 6-yard reception, giving Nick a half-point bullshit of a victory, 129.05 to 128.55 over Matt. Jeff showing us all that having two kickers for consecutive weeks is never a good idea, while Goody is able to get back in the win column with Kyler and Kyron having explosive days and getting the 134.65 to 121.5 win. Simmons does get that monster week from Josh Jacobs to help deliver the 132.1 to 110.95 victory over Val, and that puts him squarely in the playoff hunt. Matthew made this interesting with George Kittle having his way with a pathetic Cowboys team, but when the defense you start gets you -3 points, you know you're doomed. Tony was nervous, but ultimately got the 136.1 to 131.3 victory.
Simmons, I thought we were not going to be friends this week, and I was totally right. Since you beat me in both of our leagues, I totally thought I would at least have a chance and go 1-1, but I was completely wrong. Anyway, it's time for your sub of the week segment. The sub of the week goes to Jesse, where he rolled the dice on Trey Palmer to set in the absence of Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Unfortunately for him, he had a subpar day, getting only 3.9 points, while leaving Tyron Tracy, who had 26 points on his bench. Although this wouldn't have been enough for the win, it would have made the game of the week much more entertaining. The sub of the week goes to Joseph. But before we get there, we have to acknowledge another sit of the week for Matthew. Matthew, who had Kirk Cousins, decided to drop him on Thursday for the likes of Geno Smith. Well, let's just say that turned out to be a terrible call, as Geno got 8.7 points to help Matthew lose yet again. However, Joseph subsequently needing a possible quarterback, with Jaden on the injury report, he picked up Kirk on Saturday and was able to get 29.7 points, not only get to the win, but with the weekly high score. Well, this has been unofficially brought to you by Beach at LA Midtown, where Aloha is served daily.
Looking ahead to next week, Jacob providing a little insight into how his team looks by inviting us into the bathroom with him, while I look to make it 4 wins in a row. Tony now turns to Derek Carr at quarterback against the Panthers, taking on Jesse, who hopes Jonathan Taylor will benefit from finally getting competent quarterback play. Val might be getting some key players back from injury as Puka looks to carve up Seattle's meager secondary, while Matthew needs to look for anything positive here as he is currently 1-7. Goody is going to need big days from his studs to have a chance here as his team is starting to show some cracks, taking on Matt, who hopes to take his frustration out from last week by aiming for the weekly high score. Jeff suddenly finds himself in second place with back-to-back losses, but is looking for Josh Downs to get it going with Joe Flacco at the helm. Dolan, meanwhile, finds himself a little fucked. Anthony Richardson is benched, multiple players are hurt, and Rico Dowdle blows. And in the game of the week, we have Nick taking on Simmons. Both teams have won 2 in a row and are jockeying for playoff positions. Nick is now turning to rookie quarterback Bo Nix to create a spark on offense, while Simmons hopes Nick Chubb can return to form in his 3rd game back from that devastating knee injury last season. Let's see how this unfolds. So as we look ahead to next week, the Texans are taking on the Jets on Thursday Night Football, Amazon Prime. Going to be during Halloween. Not sure how many people are going to watch that game. Jets have a possible win ahead of them, maybe in the future. We'll see. 49ers are on a bye, which is much needed. We need to get healthy, right the ship, and look to potentially make a playoff push. And then you have the Buccaneers and the Chiefs on Monday Night Football. Should be interesting to see how that unfolds. But wishing you all a very happy Halloween. Have some fun trick-or-treating. Walk around the neighborhood with a cocktail. Enjoy yourself. Spook some children. Whatever it takes. Anyways, happy Halloween. And Commissioner out.